हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू अनदर एपिसोड ऑफ सीए की कहानी सीए की जुबानी। आज हमारे साथ एक ऐसी सीए हैं जिनकी काफी इंटरेस्टिंग एस्पेक्ट्स हैं जो शायद आप सुनेंगे और सरप्राइज हो जाएंगे कि क्या आज के टाइम भी सीएस ऐसी सिचुएशंस में होते हैं। आज हमारे साथ जो सीए हैं वो एक स्मॉल टाउन से आते हैं, अनंतपुर, जो है आंध्र प्रदेश में। शी प्लान टू डू हर सीए व्हेन शी वाज ऑन हर पाथ टू मदरहुड। वो आज के टाइम ईएसजी की एक्सपर्ट है, एक ऐसा फील्ड जो सीए के लिए ग्रोइंग एरिया है, और वो पूरे वर्ल्ड को सस्टेनेबिलिटी के बारे में अनंतपुर से बैठ के ही समझाती है। सो आप समझ रहे हैं कितनी यूनिक फीचर्स हैं हमारी इस गेस्ट के साथ। सो मिलते हैं हमारी गेस्ट सीए डॉक्टर रश्मि आयनापुर से। हाय रश्मि, वेलकम टू द शो।
Hi, Ruchi. Good afternoon. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to be on this show.
I think, and Rashmi, I'm really excited to know your journey, to understand that how you've been able to manage so many things in such a short time, and there are such many unique things. When I read about it in the profile, I was excited. So I'm sure हमारे सारे व्यूअर्स बहुत इंटरेस्टेड हैं आपकी कहानी सुनने के लिए, आप ही की जुबानी। सो रश्मि, मैं आपसे ये चीज पूछना चाहूंगी सबसे पहले, दैट यू आर फ्रॉम अ स्मॉल टाउन इन अनंतपुर, राइट? While when we talk about growth, career, success, people always feel that going to a metro city, a bigger town makes sense. So how come you are, based out of a small town, happy and managing everything, and not expecting to go to a bigger town?
So, I follow these three P's in my life. So, first is positivity. So, be positive, whether you are in a small town or in a metro or in any other part of the globe. So, that doesn't matter. And the next P is the productivity. So, whatever you're doing, give your 100%. So, build your core so strong that nobody can shake it. So the next P is the purpose. So when I finish a chapter, reading a chapter, if I'm a student, when I was a student, or when I deliberate a session, when I'm taking some sessions. So after that, I feel a sense of accomplishment. So I feel that's a purpose, right? So these three P's, when you have, any challenge can be tackled. So how does it matter? So my pin code will not matter to me. So when I'm deliberating session, my students are not bothered from where I'm sitting and I'm deliberating. I take sessions for Birchwood University and also European Institute of Management and Technology. So they're not bothered from where I'm taking sessions. The knowledge that speaks a lot. And coming to the practice, like people feel that Metro will offer them a high leverage. So I was in Metro. I did my MBA first before my CA. I was in Metro. I was working for a MNC and I was handling their escrow accounting. It was a US based client. So I was supposed to travel to US as well. But my childhood days and my college, it happened in Ballari, Karnataka. So it's a similar town like Anantapur. So these two towns are just 100 kilometers apart. That's all. So half of my life I was in Karnataka and rest in Andhra Pradesh. So I know like what each place brings in. So metro will bring you the leverage. That is what we feel. But I always feel the core should be strong. So I sit here and work for the clients in Bangalore, in Hyderabad, and also across the globe. I work for the clients. So according to me, that doesn't matter at all. Yeah.
So, Rashmi, tell me one thing. Your story is very unique if I have to talk from a CA perspective. Uh,
Okay.
you enrolled for CA post your graduation, but you decided not to continue. What was the inspiration that you got to become a CA?
Yeah. So it's again, my journey is quite interesting for me itself sometimes, but I take the ownership of all the actions what I do. So that I strongly believe it doesn't matter if you fail, no problem, but take ownership of your decisions, own decisions. So I did my BCom and I secured rank, university rank also. And as you know, like everyone were telling, you're such a bright student, why don't you take up CA? And also being accounting professionals or graduation in accounting and all, we feel that okay, chartered accountants is the course that anybody will dream of doing. right? But that time around 2003, that was the time where globalization set in, digitalization set in, privatization set in. So that was the time we could see so many MNCs emerging in India. So for me, like, I felt I have to experience corporate. I want to do MBA first because MBA was also evolving at that time. So
Hmm.
I wanted to do MBA. Then CA was there, back of my mind. I was seeing many of my friends or seniors taking so many years to complete CA. So that was worrying me. Like, if I don't complete CA, so what next? So let me finish my MBA and again
Hmm.
later on come back to CA. So that is how I just switched from CA to MBA.
You started to think of MBA, you did your MBA first, and you got a job also, right? You were working with a corporate because you wanted to experience the corporate world. Then, and I'm sure that during that time you got married also. So, why and how did you think of doing chartered accountancy after leaving it?
So maybe it was written in my destiny. That is what I can tell. So I was working and I was about to travel also to US in 2006. I got my US visa. So
Hmm.
I always like, tell that from America to Anantapur. This is how it happened, my life. So 2006, I conceived and I had a very complicated pregnancy. So doctor advised bed rest. And as you know, that time there was not much prevalence of work from home conditions. So it happened only recently. So 3 months I got the permission post that they did not allow. Then one more thing is like, I'm very attracted to kids also. I love to spend time with kids. So what I was planning is, okay, 5 years I have to take break because initial years of my kids, I have to nurture them. So then I decided, okay, this 5 years, what can I do? Because I have to spend a lot of time at home. Then I thought, okay, I will do CA. By the time my kid will come to first standard, I can start my own office. And this was my dream always, that I have to start my practice. Always I wanted to start my practice. After I explored MNC, how it looks, then I thought I have to start my practice. So this is how it started. So in pregnancy, I thought, okay, 5 years, whatever is there, I will finish my CA. So I re-registered. It was not the old syllabus. It was a direct route what I joined that time. I re-registered. In my 7th month of pregnancy, I went and gave my entrance test. Then I did my articles, and by the time my son was in first grade, I opened my office.
Oh, wow. So I'm sure you've taken that 5 year period, but how long did you take to do your overall CA? I mean, how was your CA journey? ठीक ठाक रही या आपको तकलीफ हुई या कैसा रहा आपका?
Yeah, it was difficult. I mean, 5 years in the sense, like, how we used to have our curriculum that time is 3.5 years we are supposed to complete the articleship.
Articleship,
Only
right.
then I can give, right? So it will take 4.5 years for us to complete. That was there. There were challenges, both physical and mental challenges. Surely it will come. So physical challenges, I had the supportive family who were helping me in all my other activities.
Hmm.
Then mental challenges, as a student, it is completely different. And as a mother of a toddler, when I was giving my inter exams, it was just 1.5 year, 2 years. So we don't get enough sleep. That is a major challenge. But as I said, both the works, the motherhood and studies, both I like. So when I like something what I'm doing, so unknowingly there will be a push inside which will help me to face any kind of challenges. But surely there were overwhelming situations where I used to tell my husband, I think I can't do. I will quit. So he used to always tell one word. He doesn't give big lectures kind of thing. He used to tell, I believe you, you can do it. So that used to push me. So that is
Wow.
how it happened. Yeah.
And I when I read your profile, I also saw that you've mentioned that you actually have done PhD also, right?
Correct.
And that was a decision that you took while you were doing chartered accountancy. You were in your final of CA.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why that thought, PhD क्यों करनी थी जब CA is, you were already going to be a CA.
Correct, correct. No, as I said, my father, and my uncles, they all are PhDs, and I grew up seeing PhD at home. So even in my childhood I used to inquire with them what it is, like, how it is done. So I had always had this research kind of mindset. So in CA final, okay, I thought, okay, let me take a PhD as well, so that I can also have some presence in academics, since I was inclined to it. So maybe it's because of my family history, I guess so.
And ESG was a budding area at that point in time. Did you ever think of that level on collaboration between CA and ESG PhD?
Okay. So again here, no, again, this is again interesting turn in my life. I lost around 8 months of my PhD work because I shifted from balanced scorecard, where I was already working in a cement company. So from that study, I shifted to ESG. One day it happened that I was meeting my guide for my regular review. Then he said, "Would you mind losing 8 months of your work in balanced scorecard?" Then I said, "What's the reason?" So he said, "There is this upcoming area called ESG. Since you are a chartered accountant, anyway, you have the financials of the client. So they will be required to report on ESG as well, which is called as integrated reporting today. So I think it will be of use to you." Then I said, "What is this sustainability report?" That time it was called as sustainability reporting.
Hmm.
Then I said, "What is this sustainability report?" Then he said, "So financial report and this sustainability report, it speak about the social, environment and governance aspects." So somehow, like, by hearing to environment word, I was connected, because that time only we were facing this climate degradation and the crisis and all these things. So I thought, okay, let me enter into the field which is related to environment. So that is how I lost my 8 months work. So it took 6 years for me to complete PhD. Otherwise, in 5 years, I would have completed. In 2012, I remember he told me, after 10 years, this area will be a boom. And that is what we are seeing today.
Right. And I'm sure that has been because it's a very well integrated area from a CA perspective also. In today's time, the BRSR reporting and GRI reporting, that's something which every listed and unlisted companies are really looking for. So I think
Correct.
that's an area which you decided at the right time, so which is very nice. Now, Rashmi, I just wanted to understand that, now the things that you're doing, you run your own practice based out of Anantapur, you take classes for international universities on ESG, you do a lot of other things. So, how do you today manage the professional coaching out of, a small town here? And how has this journey been? How have you been able to connect with the international folks uh, to kind of be able to
Okay.
coach them?
Yeah. So as I said, your knowledge should be your address, not your PIN code. That again I will stick on to. And one more thing is, we have to keep our presence maybe in form of LinkedIn instead of using social media. The technology, whatever is there today. So that has to be used in a very positive way. For me, at least, it's a blessing in disguise. Only because of the virtual world, I am able to work today. And because of my LinkedIn connects, so when I was doing my PhD also, I had few research scholars where we used to do, it was around 9 months of coursework before our PhD registration. So in that I met few people. So those people generally who take up PhDs who want to excel in the academics, they want to climb the ladder in the college. So today they are in really high positions. So that is how my friendship with them during my coursework 10, 15 years back. So that is helping me today to get the assignments because they see me, and how they're able to see me that what I'm doing is because of my LinkedIn presence, where I'm telling whether it is small or big, it doesn't matter at all. So whatever I'm doing, I have to showcase it. So I have to create awareness, and people should, like, feel that okay, she's doing something in this area. So that is how they approach me and they give me assignments. I develop syllabus for a few universities. I develop the materials for them. And as I said, it gives me sense of accomplishment when I do something. So finally, it's the purpose.
Agreed, agreed. And Rashmi, another question, because you've been a mother, you handling your practice, you've done your
Correct.
PhD. So how do you balance all of them? So being a mother and so many faces, it's actually so much challenging as a woman. So how do you balance all of it?
Yeah, women, correct. I 100% agree because the challenges what we have compared to our men colleagues is completely different. Yeah, it brings lot of tiredness into our life. But that is there. As I said, there are two types of challenges we have to undergo. One is the mental challenge and the physical challenge. You have to prioritize your works. So you cannot be 100% perfect in all the things what you do. You cannot be few people will be overwhelmed when they don't feed their kids at right point in time. But I also can delegate that work to somebody. When some days, if I can't feed, I'm just giving example.
Mm.
So I cannot be 100% present in all the situations.
Right.
So I need to take help of people, whether it is professional life or personal life. I have to be open for that. So today also, I work in collaboration. I don't want to build entire team and then again take the pressures because last 25 years I've taken enough. I feel I have to little slow down, but I want to work.
Mm.
So I believe in collaboration. So that is my team. So now I have a team in different places in India, wherein depending on the assignments where I get, I coordinate with those people and then we execute the work. So that is what prioritization is the key.
Right. And Rashmi,
Hmm.
just last question. So, some piece of
Mhm.
advice that you would either like to give, the students who are wanting to pursue but scared, or people who are actually stuck up there and not sure how to take it forward.
Hmm. Like two things here. One is nowadays what I see the students is they just want quick result. But CA is such kind of thing wherein it will test you to the deepest part of your soul. So whether you can sustain that journey, right? But that is where the core I was speaking about is getting built. Once you do CA, anything on earth can be achieved. So a person who wants to be happy throughout his life, it's better go for CA, build your core very strong that even you cannot touch it. Otherwise, if you want instant result, you will be lost after few years. So it's better to work hard today and have a lifelong happiness instead of having 3 4 years of happiness and struggling throughout the life. So that is one thing. And everyone tell that failure is the stepping stone of success. Something great will happen once you fail or something. I don't think failure as failure itself. It's like because failure is part of life. It's not a stepping stone or anything, it's part of life. It will come. There will be 10 failures and 20 success. That's okay, it's part of life. Because I changed my direction. I was a science student in plus two. I changed to commerce because of my health reasons. So I never felt I was a failure. My friends, they did engineering, they did medicine, they did Ayurvedic. So they went to the different streams, but I never felt I was a failure by shifting to commerce. So I was the person who was given example in the college telling that, a non-commerce student in 12th standard, she has excelled in her studies and she's a rank student in our college. So that was not failure for me. It was part of it. So my journey just took a U-turn, that's all. So anybody who is stuck there, so there is something else which is open, but you have to be positive and productive. There is no shortcut for success. You have to be disciplined, hardworking, but it will take you somewhere. That is for sure.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Rashmi. And you've really, mentioned the right things. And I love the examples that you shared. Also, I like the three P's that you talked about in the first question, because purpose is very, very important, and
Correct.
productivity, as you said. So those are the things that really matter. It's been a great conversation with you, and I'm sure, it's been very inspiring because there are a lot of females who actually sometimes think of wanting to do something but take a backstage that, oh no, I've conceived, I can't do something, or maybe I'm in a small town. Students also, thinking that I'm in a small town, I can't do up. But you're an exact example who can actually tell people that, there is the world out there. And I like the word that you said, from America to Anantapur. And it's
Correct.
not the pin code that really defines you, it's the core that defines you. So, very,
Correct.
very interesting aspects that you've highlighted. Thanks, Rashmi, for being on the show and sharing your journey. It's really been great. And I'm sure all our viewers would have loved it. There are such great points that we all need to kind of learn from them. And it is not only for CA students or CAs. As you've seen, Rashmi is actually excelled in academics in whatever space that she's gone. She's a graduate, she's an MBA, she's a chartered accountant, she's actually a PhD. If you are focused and if you aim at whatever you want, you will definitely achieve, as Rashmi mentioned. So, our series or our episodes are actually to kind of keep motivating and inspiring you with such stories that actually teach you that there is no looking back. If you have an aim, you can achieve it. So I'm sure you like this series and this program. Please share this with all your friends who are maybe confused, not sure what to do in life. This could be a point that they can learn from and excel. And for more such stories around CA's journeys, you can stay connected. We come back with a new story every Thursday. Thank you and stay connected.